Our journey from New York to northern Georgia to ride the Chattahoochee BDR-X kicked off with a quick stop in NYC to scoop up one of our riders, but not just any stop. We started at Gotham City Moto, a members-only moto garage that's been on my radar for a while. Now, calling it a garage almost doesn't do it justice. It's more like a moto museum meets an edgy Brooklyn lounge, beautifully organized, filled with custom bikes, gears, tools, and just enough swagger to make you want to hang out for hours. If we weren't racing the clock to begin our 16-hour haul south, we definitely would have lingered a little longer. With Paul's GS loaded onto the trailer, we hit the road. Our crew: Clay, Mike, Paul, Tyler, Kurt, and me, because no one wanted to be left behind on this epic ride. Now, full disclosure, this was not my best ride. In fact, it may go down as one of my toughest. But I'll save that part for the end. No need to rain on this hooch parade just yet. Oh, and yes, it rained, because of course it did. But a little water didn't stop the good times, especially for Mike, Clay, and me, who decided to tack on an extra day to ride a nearly full loop of the South East BDR, linking up sections 9 through 10 on our way home.
A lot of oil peanut stands, which are a fantastic delicacy.
There's no one here to give me any instructions. And there, salty amazing. So don't end up like me. Make sure your boots are waterproof, because these socks are wet.
I think Chattahoochee is much more challenging, being honest. Because
I would agree.
I didn't ride the entirety of the Chattahoochee. I only rode a couple sections that were not expert, and they were challenging. They were very long. Like, uphill rocky stuff that like a short section of it was no big deal.
More dirt, right, than any of the other ones that we.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the expert sections were pretty gnarly on the Chattahoochee. I felt like there was one where there was just these massive ruts. I feel like I've seen them on a video.
Yeah.
Somebody going through them, and they're like, it's just like these. They almost look like valleys, you know, like, and you just have to kind of keep crossing, going up and over them. But the towns in the Chattahoochee were awesome. Like everywhere we stopped in, what was it? That Tiger.
Oh yeah,
the Tiger Drive-In.
Tiger Drive-In.
That was a lot of fun.
I totally agree. Yeah,
Mission Impossible 8. I don't know. I love Chattahoochee.
Yeah,
I
did too.
I would do Chattahoochee multiple times. Like I would do it over and over again.
How was the ride today, guys?
It was awesome.
Excellent.
Tell me all about it.
It was wet.
Yes. Yep. I'm still pruny.
Yeah.
South East BDR.
So, it's what sections?
Little bit of 9, mostly 10.
Starting in gravel.
Manicured gravel. Lots of that. A lot of it.
But that's slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some spots that were pretty slippery, but we were moving along pretty good. And the rain kind of cut. There was no dust, obviously, so we could kind of like skate around the corners a little bit, slide the rear end. I said to him at one point, I was like, "This looks like Tail the Dragon on gravel," and it was gravel, yeah. And then the first expert section, it wasn't.
How was it?
I mean, the trail was slippery.
Yeah, it was very slippery. Like
Up or down?
it was an uphill.
Rocks? Like,
Yeah.
what was the terrain?
Mud, slippery mud, ruts, and rocks. Like I crashed.
Oh, I would've died.
It was just too slippery. if it was dry, it would be. I don't think it would be classified as an expert section because Chattahoochee had sections that weren't classified as expert that were harder than that.
Absolutely. Like I didn't crash at all today in the rain on the expert sections, but yet like doing the Chattahoochee, I went down a bunch of times.
Not the expert section.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of places.
And I crashed on the slippery, the first section.
That's a good question. I did enjoy the expert sections a lot because they were interesting. There's a lot of like fun. I like uphill climbing.
Both expert sections,
they're switchbacks.
The second expert section, I don't think you could do it. I couldn't do it.
Reverse
In the wet, just because it would be insanely slippery. Oh, all of the regular sections you can do. They're all dirt and fire road style, but it's like windy and through the forest. It's beautiful. It was very pretty.
We actually got a couple.
Yeah, a couple.
A lot of bridges were down, like totally down.
The devastation was crazy.
Still, huh?
Mm-hmm. We saw some of the videos we saw on YouTube. We saw those spots. Like there were signs that said "bridge out, no turnaround." Of course, ignore them and pull up. And there's a temporary bridge put up.
Could you get through them?
Yeah. Oh, there's a temporary one-lane bridge. I mean, for traffic. It's just crazy the amount of damage was done, and I feel bad because I had no idea it was this extensive.
Little PSA, if my voice is even going into these mics, but like, definitely visit this area because our tourist dollars then make a difference in this area. So like, there's still devastation, there's still so much to make up for, so it feels good to come to these areas. I know Clay and I, at least the other day, like spent a lot of money in Clayton on like souvenirs and fun things, food, whatever. So it's important to come help revitalize the community that we enjoy riding.
Okay. It was short. It was good though. It was fun. I'd do it again. I'd like to not do it in the rain, ideally.
A lot of fun. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
In the rain.
How many miles? 150?
150 something.
Yeah, something like that.
So one of BDR's core statements is know your limits. And this Chattahoochee BDR-X brought new meaning to that statement. Or should I say, I found my limit on this trip. Not only am I nursing an ankle injury, but I'm riding a new to me ADV bike that's taller than any bike I've ever ridden and heavier. So I was up against a lot of challenges. I do a lot of research before starting these trips, so I knew all the obstacles, the route conditions, and what each section had in store. But the way our trip was planned, we were starting with section 3, and I had no idea just how challenging that section would be. Numerous water crossings, lots of slippery, wet rocks, and it's been raining here a lot. So these trail conditions were horrible. I also ran into a local at Sunrise Grocery who was telling me that lately, especially with this Memorial Day holiday weekend, that a lot of Jeeps have been tearing up the trails. So it was really bad and worse than I hear it usually is. But I did parts of section 3 and it literally brought me to tears. I came off the trail feeling defeated, like I wasn't fit for off-road riding, and it was a really rough day for me. I am grateful that Clay stayed behind to help me through a few of the really challenging sections, but we were with a group of, it was me plus 5 guys, and they were just blazing ahead, and it really knocked my confidence, and it was one of my hardest trips yet. So in an effort to be candid and honest and show the struggles of a female beginner riding these BDRs in the ADV world is really challenging. Like I say, I spent the rest of the trip
sort of taking my own routes off the BDR, riding some really beautiful twisty paved roads that brought their own challenges due to the rain and the wet conditions. It's going to be really hard for me to get back on that trail. I'm not sure that I can do it, but I hope to find support and to still find enjoyment in something I've been doing what feels like my whole life. I know my skills need practice. I know it takes time and work. But for this to be our first big trip of the season was just really, really tough on me. So that's it. I didn't mean to make this so long, but I wanted to be honest about just how challenging I thought the Chattahoochee BDR-X Section 3 was with my limited skills and the conditions of the route. So beginner riders beware. It's a really tough one, and I would not go at it alone. Ride right, and most importantly, know your limits and don't put yourself in a situation where you could get hurt or, you could end up hurting someone else if you and your bike are out of control, because that's a reality on this trail. It is a tough one. So hopefully more success to come in the future.